we now return to my voice acting audition. Okay, let's do a summation examination. The defense wishes to assert its right to a summation examination, my lord.
Objection!
London is the capital of the most powerful nation on earth. We have a duty to the world to exemplify the very highest standards of judicial procedure. Summation examinations are an embarrassment that should remain buried.
Objection!
But if it's our right, it's our right. I believe it could prove vital in this trial. The defense's petition is perfectly valid. The court will proceed with the summation examination. This is madness. Foreman, are you and the remainder of the jury ready? Yeah. I'm not. There's no mention of this in the letter I received, so. All members of the jury will be asked to explain on what grounds they have reached their decision. On what grounds? You must all justify your decisions and explain why you believe the defendant to be guilty. Well, my lord, you're rather putting us on the spot. This is most irregular, and no mention was made of this before. Fuck, I got 6 people. Alright, really, how with all this justifying, Locke? It seems to have thrown the jurors off. It seems none of them have experienced this before. Alright then, the summation examination. A defense procedure no practicing lawyer has attempted for years, is it? Well, just maybe. It might be the opportunity we've been looking for to turn this trial around. So be it then. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the court hereby calls upon you to state the grounds on which you find the defendant, Magnus McGilded, guilty of this most serious crime. So it gives me even more opportunity now to rebut, I suppose, the jurors' contentions. There was no one else inside the carriage at the time, so it must have been him. Can I present... Okay, apparently I can't present jack squat. So we go on. I trust the driver. He has an excellent memory, it seems. 4 passengers with the fares totaling 20 pence. He stuck the chap next to him just like this. Brazen, I must say. Absolutely brazen. Except that that's not what the coachman said when he raised his whip and he was like, he stabbed him like this, which was an overhand stab. I can't present it all at this point. Okay. I have simply typed and collated all the statements made thus far and drawn the logical conclusion. You can trust the guild. Fair fares is our motto. Is our motto. We haven't raised prices for 4 pence for years. The scoundrel stabbed the poor man on the floor. Except that he didn't, Granny. It's not the blood markings on the hand, if that's what it's beggar's belief. I'm starting to wish I hadn't pushed for this now. Some of the jurors don't seem to have wonderfully formed arguments, though, do they? Well, let's see what we can do. We need to get these 6 people to change their minds. I have to throw everything I can at them and use some very persuasive language. Just a moment, Mr. Naruhodo. I have suddenly discovered a new game mechanic that's going to be necessary for this to work. According to my book, that's not quite how it works. Oh? I thought I was going to have to father icy minds with some heartwarming rhetoric about the defendant. Unfortunately, once the jurors have decided the defendant is guilty, they're unlikely to heed anything the defense says. But then, they've reached their conclusions by their own reasoning, you see. Your pleas will sound like excuses. In fact, it could recoil on you. The more you try to persuade them, the more entrenched they may become. And what on earth am I supposed to do? Oh dear, I'm just citing what I've read about the British law, Mr. Naruhodo. Right, I'm sorry. Do you have any idea how to make this work, then? Well, from what I can understand, the key to this procedure is using the jurors' own words to make your arguments. What do you mean? Well, the 6 members of the jury are randomly selected members of the public. They may appear to present a united front, but the truth is, they're complete strangers who just happen to find themselves here in the courtroom together. And that's the way to break them down, you mean? Yes, exactly. We must listen very carefully to what each member of the jury says, and see if we can identify any contradictory statements. If we can then contrast the statements and pit the corresponding jurors against each other. Okay, well the knife handling then is the first thing we can do. I see. So it's contradictions in what 2 or more jurors say that we're looking for. In a way then, this is similar to a regular cross-examination. Oh, yes, I suppose you're right. Find contradictions in their statements, and pit the jurors against one another to break them down. Alright, I might be able to pull this off. No, that's not right. I have to pull this off.
Can we start proceedings, counsel? I would ask you to take the stand for this. I'm expecting a clear and concise rebuttal.
Yes, my lord.
Jury examination.
The defense's rebuttal.
There was no one else inside the carriage at the time, so it must have been him.
Hold it!
Certainly, the testimonies we've heard suggest the victim and Mr. McGilded were alone inside the carriage.
Precisely my point.
But could there be some other explanation, something we haven't considered yet?
Such as?
Well, perhaps that's something we could all work out together now?
Now listen here, maybe you don't know how things work around here because you're from foreign climes, but we're here to form our opinions as individuals, and I have.
Oh dear, he doesn't appear to be in the mood to consider an alternative point of view, does he? No, I'm going to have to pit the jurors against one another, like Susato-san said. Finding contradictions in these 6 people's assertions is the only way I'm going to succeed. I trust the driver. He has an excellent memory, it seems. 4 passengers, with fares totaling 20 pence. I don't know, do I want to press on everybody? Because I know the 2 people I want to talk to, for starters.
He stuck the chap next to him like this. Brazen, I say. Absolutely brazen.
Except, okay, so that's the contradiction. He would have been on the seat, right there.
No shit. Go back.
I simply typed and correlated all statements thus far and drawn the logical conclusion.
This one.
Press on that one.
Hold it!
Careful, you could hurt somebody with that.
You're a fine one to talk.
Well, with that sword hanging from your waist? Yeah, how did we get that in here? No, that's just my battered soul.
Well, anyway, I despise anyone with too much money. They're all the same, all stabbing some brickmaker or other behind the scenes, you mark my words.
That seems very unlikely, doesn't it?
Are you mad, man? We know that small shorty is a rotten Shylock.
Well, yes, that does seem to be the case, but Mr. Naruhodo, please be careful what you say.
If he's been trying to squeeze money out of us, less fortunate than as far as I'm concerned. He's as guilty as sin. A man can hang.
Come to think of it, didn't one of the other jurors have something to say about the defendant's underhand activities? Yes. If you thought of something, Mr. Naruhodo, don't let it go. Test your theory. Pit the 2 jurors whose statements seem to be contradictory against each other. No time like the present to use R to pit them against each other, or I'll never get anywhere. Never get anywhere. Where? Okay.
You can trust the guild. Fair fares.
The scoundrel stabbing that poor man on the floor, it beggars belief. Hold it!
I really think you should stop waving that needle around.
You heard what the good coachman said before, didn't you? That hideous man stabbed the poor fellow, just like this.
Yes, that is what he said. You're right.
And the Gilded Park is such a lovely little place too. I've always enjoyed resting my legs there when I get on with me knitting. And I had thought anyone who donated such a delightful place must be a fine fellow indeed. I suppose I was wrong. Whoever would have thought he was a miserable murdering moneylender with not a scrap of remorse?
Oh, help. He's as sure can be that he's guilty now. The old lady certainly seems to know her mind, doesn't she? Okay, but can I... So, we just need to find two jurors with contradictory statements and pit them against each other. Which is so much easier than said than done. Is that perhaps why you were just thinking? What you were just thinking? How'd you know? Well, I took the liberty of doing some research, in case you happen to find yourself in just such a situation. Shall I read to you what I found out? It's a little long, I'm afraid. Yeah, sure. I already know what I want to do, but let's get all the information, why not? Very well. Listen to this. During the summation examination, you will hear the assertions of the 6 members of the jury. In this situation, the counsel for the defense should use R and pit with impunity. Having done so, you will be able to compare the chosen assertion with those of the other jurors. Select the corresponding buttons to listen to the other jurors' assertions again. Note that you cannot choose the assertion of the juror you initially selected. You cannot choose the assertion of the juror you initially selected, nor can you choose assertions of jurors who have changed their leaning to not guilty already. Once you've compared the various jurors' assertions, work out which two contradict each other, and then pit them together with R to pull them apart. I see. She wasn't joking when she said it was long. The first step is to listen very carefully to what each individual juror has to say. Then I'm sure you'll start to see which ones might not quite agree with each other. Alright then. Let's get this right now, so I never have to listen to that long and boring explanation again. That's the spirit. Okay.
He's stuck in a chat.
Pit that. There was no one else. Scoundrel stabbed the man on the floor.
Objection!
Those two statements are completely contradictory.
What? Explain, counsel, post haste.
Oh dearie me, I was only knitting a jumper for my other half.
What is all this claptrap? What's it contradictory even mean, I ask you?
We've heard from more than one witness that they allegedly saw the actual moment when the defendant stabbed the victim. Now, out of curiosity, juror number 3.
What? Yeah, you see I'm busy here.
My throat is so raw. How would you say the defendant stabbed the victim? What sort of motion was it?
Ha! Want to test me, do you? It was like this. Stuck that fellow next to him without even getting up. Just like the prim banker said. Yes, that was Mr. Fairplay's testimony. Quite true.
So who was the guy that said he stabbed him on the floor? It was the kid. Now then, juror number 6.
Oh, is that me, is it? What can I do for you, young man?
How would you say the defendant stabbed the victim, madam?
Oh, well, dear, as far as I understand it, he was like this. He stabbed the poor man after he'd collapsed on the floor. The coachman said so.
Now don't move. Take a look at these two jurors. He stuck the fellow next to him without even getting up. And he stabbed the poor man after he'd collapsed on the floor.
Well, I never. They're stabbing in totally different directions. What?
Bless my stitches, what a muddle!
What this tells us is that there's a strong possibility one of the witnesses isn't telling the truth.
Oh,
But why? What the dickens would they lie?
I don't know that yet. But what I do know is that if the trial ends at this point, we may never find out. We may never know the real truth. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, can you really let that happen in all good conscience?
Lies, you say? Oh, dearie me. I can't abide people telling lies. The scales. I don't believe it.
Why? Now hear this, my fellow terrors. I warn you, you cannot listen to this man. Look at him, in his black suit. He's clearly some Davies Eastern sorcerer using magic on us. I don't know if you had that accent before, but you do now.
If I could use magic, do you really think I'd be putting myself through all this?
Answer me, Dark Jinx.
Me?
What exactly is the problem? What if two witnesses have slightly different recollections of events?
What of it?
Let's say Shylock had stabbed the victim as he was sat next to him on the omnibus, and this young dandy saw him do it. And now let's say the victim collapsed on the floor and then the Shylock stabbed him again, and this old lady saw him do it. Well, what's that?
Wait a minute, what do you mean, this old lady? She didn't see him say that.
What's to say it didn't happen like that, eh? Oh, you calling a dandy, sir? Why, I should take this knife, do you?
Oh, who are you calling old? Why I should take this needle, do you?
They're ready to kill each other now. But could the foreman of the jury be right? Did the two witnesses see two different moments of the same crime? It's out of the question. There's only one stab wound. Right? Single stab wound. It's out of the question. Unfortunately, Mr. Foreman.
What is it, you Dark Jinx? Come on, out with it.
What you're suggesting is impossible. It's out of the question.
What are you talking about, man? How could you possibly say that? You do realize I'm only doing my job. As foreman of the jury, I have a responsibility to steer everyone in the right direction. So, where's your evidence, man? That's what I want to see. I'll say the two witnesses saw two different moments of the same crime. If you say that's out of the question, show me proof.
Do I have to... Can I present it now? God damn it. It looks like the only way I'm going to convince him is to present him with something he can't dismiss. Some irrefutable hard evidence. As you wish.
Well,
I'll give you the proof. It's out of the question because...
Take that!
This is the victim's autopsy report. According to what's written here, Mr. Mason was stabbed in the abdomen only once.
Only once?
It's quite simple. The victim was stabbed precisely one time. Which means these witnesses can't possibly have seen it happen two different times.
You're all right. I can see defeat.
Oh, well done, Mr. Naruhodo. You did it. If we can manage to change two more jurors' minds, we can force the trial to continue. Two more, actually. There is something else that's bothering me about a couple of their assertions. And that's where you must strike next. So I need to pit two more jurors against each other, show there's another contradiction in their assertions. Exactly. You can do it. Okay, but I'm going to have to listen to them again.
Well, the scales of justice have shifted, but they still weigh heavily on the side of guilt. Counsel, you have the floor again. Continue with your summation examination.
I'm no lover of the rich. This isn't your accent, you're a Cockney man. Hello, Mary. I'm no lover of the rich, but I despise liars even more.
Innocent is my call for now,
At least okay, so we don't have to deal with him anymore. I have simply typed and collated all statements made thus far and draw the logical conclusion. You can trust the guild. Fair fares is our motto. We haven't raised prices above 4 pence for years. Right there, then. Because how could he had 4 passengers at 4 pence, but he made 20. Where was that at? Is it? No, that's 20 guineas. One of them said something about, alright, let's go back. I trust the driver. He has an excellent memory. 4 passengers with fare totaling 20 pence.
Objection!
Those 2 statements clearly contradict each other.
They do? Explain yourself, counsel.
Me? Oh dear, what have I said?
I swear on Silverblazer's main and name, I haven't had the first idea what you're talking about.
According to the group testimony we've heard so far, there were 4 passengers on the omnibus on the night in question. And according to the coachman, Mr. Beppo, he took 20 pence in fares.
Quite right. I have those precise details typed neatly here in front of me.
And juror number 5 also told us the following. The fare for the omnibus is always 4 pence.
That it is a fair and convenient single price, just the way London's carriages should be operated.
But that doesn't add up at all. In fact, it leaves a glaring discrepancy in the facts.
Why, man, why?
4 passengers paying 4 pence each. If you do the multiplication,
It would be 16 pence.
exactly. As I said, it doesn't add up. The figures are different. By 4 pence, in fact. Or precisely 1 person's fare.
1 person's fare?
Yes, in other words, on the omnibus that night, it's distinctly possible there was another passenger we've heard nothing about.
Good gracious. This can't be right. The coachmen of the guild are good, honest men, one and all. Trustworthiness is our watchword.
The figures your coachman claims most certainly do not add up. Your watchword, good sir, is a fallacy.
I beg your pardon.
Mr. Guildmaster, I think you ought to consider that if this trial were to end now, the news will surely spread all over London. The news that one of your coachmen tried to hide the fact that he lets nefarious characters ride his omnibus.
All right, then. How do I make it so his miserable trial doesn't end him?
Well, according to my book here, you just have to change your vote. You simply launch a ball of fire onto the innocent side of the set of scales.
How old your horses there, coachman? We were all in agreement. What do you have to... Wait till I get my hands on you. Beppo! Oh, this is all very irritating.
Begging all pardon, sir, I'm going to do the same.
I honestly cannot juggle 12 voices right now.
For the love of Mike, not you as well.
A penny can be the difference between a smile and a tear, after all. I certainly can't put my trust in someone who doesn't follow my exacting standards in financial matters.
Oh, really?
I, for one, think it's only proper that we hear from the witnesses again.
Wait, that means 4 jurors are now leaning to not guilty. We've done it, Mr. Naruhodo. We've won. I mean, not yet.
What are you playing at, you dandy fool? Shut your trap, sir. No one deceives me. But we had a consensus. I said shut your trap. I know a lie when I see one. And if the chap ever dares to cross the threshold of my shop, you've got a shop, have you? Or take this razor blade, razor-sharp blade and shave every last hair off his head.
Please tell me he's a barber.
Well, in quite a remarkable turn of events, the defense's summation examination has flipped the balance of the scales of justice. The jurors now stand at 2 for guilty and 4 for not guilty. Accordingly, there is no longer a large enough majority among the jury for me to adjudicate, and the trial must continue. I hereby ask the defense, prosecution, and witnesses to return to their places, and I call upon all of you to continue to pursue the truth. So, Lord Van Zeeks, continue to substantiate the case for the prosecution, if you please.
Take a drink of my own here. Having savored the rich aroma of the carmine, I don't know where you're from now, man, but of the carmine contents of this hallowed chalice. It may seem crass to crush it to dust. Pray forgiveness the discourtesy.
Lord Van Zeeks,
Is it cold in here, or is it just me? As your antiquated tome no doubt says, the prosecution may not speak during a summation examination. So I honored a deathly silence and listened to the charade. It seems I overestimated the intelligence of the jury. Well, no matter. There is nothing so hard to prove as a self-evident truth, it would seem. No, and why else would we grace the courtroom with our presence, after all? So, let us proceed to the next round of battle. Bring forth the witnesses once more. He's achieved his second form. Witnesses! I trust you heard the summation examination we have just had to endure. Now he's French, apparently.
Oh, yes, sir, that I did, sir.
Of course I heard it.
Oh, yes, sir, I heard it. I don't know if these are the accents I left him with last time, but...
You, sir, on the end, the coachman. I believe it's Beppo.
Yes, sir, my lord, sir.
If it transpires that in your previous testimony you were attempting to veil the presence of a 5th passenger on your omnibus, you will be found guilty of perjury. You are advised to bear that in mind, sir.
Oh, mio Dio.
Now then, witnesses, I hereby call you to testify before the court again. You will explain the various misgivings brought to our attention by the defense's summation examination.
I only carried 4 passengers that night, I swear, but,
Well, I, for one, was told I had to pay 5 pence for the bus. That still only adds up to 21. Or 17, excuse me.
he fiddled us on the fare, he did. And then I saw that blood-curdling sort as well. It's all too much.
But their initial testimony still contradicts each other. We just found that out vicariously through the other. I'll tell you, I saw me gilded stabbing that man. Everything I said before stands.
Oh, yes, he stabbed him. Yes, he did. Oh, I think so, yes.
I think so.
Counsel, make sense of this for me, please.
The phantom 5th passenger conjured into existence by my learned Eastern friend never existed. Apparently we're going French. I don't know. The confusion has arisen from the coachman's sly little cousinage.
Beppo, explain yourself.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry, Guildmaster.
The guild's fare is 4 pence across the board. You know that. Am I to understand that you've been overcharging our passengers by a penny a fare?
It's so cold, and the last run of the day is always half empty.
You've been dishonest, coachman.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're a disgrace, Beppo. A disgrace. And your selfish actions have brought dishonor to the entire guild.
If I may, sir, I had to pay 10 pence. What the fuck? I had to pay 10 pence on the bus just last week.
What?
4 passengers at 5 pence each is, yes, 20 pence. Done the arithmetic 10 times already, but I just can't make the result come out differently. But he just said he got charged 10? But that was last week. No, that figures.
Well, it would appear that one of the aforementioned misgivings has already been explained. So, counsel for the defense, your cross-examination, if you please.
We've already had the pleasure of a protracted summation examination today. I see you intend to continue the parlor games. Absolutely. But see, now he's all nervous. Why is he nervous?
I only carried 4 passengers that night, I swear, but,
Hold it!
So, there were only 4 passengers on your carriage, but you didn't charge them the standard 4 pence fare. Is that right?
Excuse me.
Mr. First,
how can I help you, sir?
that last statement, did it trouble you in some way?
Not particularly, sir, no.
If anything, he's troubling me with that hat of his. Has he greased his head?
Oh dear, sir, I hope my head's not troubling you, sir. I'm still an apprentice, you see. An apprentice, you see.
Mr. Naruhodo, even the witnesses can see what's going through your mind. You really must be more careful. I wish it were that simple. But he is nervous looking.
Well, I, for one, was told I had to pay 5 pence for the bus.
Hold it!
I don't know if this is your accent either. I don't remember anymore. Where are you people from? This is London, by God.
Does that mean everyone on board that night paid 5 pence instead of 4?
Well, I paid 5 pence too, sir.
And I just told you that I did.
A flat fare of 5 pence across the board.
That's something to be proud of.
The so-called discrepancy my learned friend identified was nothing of the sort.
Much like the Phantom Killer you so desperately needed, it's gone, dead and buried. I'd have been happy if it had ever existed in the first place. Okay, but we still had this whole ledger thing that we never brought out.
He fiddled us all fair, he did, and then I saw that blood-curdling crown me all to spare.
Hold it!
Blood-curdling sight. You mean the murder, I presume?
Yes, sir.
A loathsome sight. No one should have to witness the horror in the eyes of a man the moment his life is taken.
Not exactly, sir.
I mean, I didn't actually see the exact moment the gent was stabbed. Good gracious, really?
We have another witness who did, however. The banker has already testified to it. But Mr. First didn't actually see the point at which the victim was killed. That may turn out to be very significant.
I heard the banker gent next to me take a sharp intake of breath, see. That's when I looked through the glass. That's when I saw the horrible blade poking out from his belly, all covered in blood. Every time I see a knife now, I can't help screaming, even when I'm eating.
I don't know why I'm giving him this accent.
I'll tell you, I saw Mr. McGilded stabbing that man.
Everything I said before stands.
Oh, yes, he stabbed him. Yes, he did. Oh, I think so, yes.
Okay, but that's not what I want. I guess we press this.
Hold it!
So you saw the defendant, Mr. McGilded, stabbing the victim, Mr. Mason, who was sitting next to him.
That's what I said, isn't it?
It was bothering me before, this was. For just a brief moment, he hesitated before answering the question.
Anyway, there's only two of them inside the carriage, wasn't there?
There's been much talk of a fifth passenger, but yes, zero evidence.
And what are we wasting all this time for, eh? It's black and white. The man's guilty.
Excuse me.
I guess, I don't know. Mr. First,
How can I help you, sir?
that last statement, did it trouble you in some way?
Oh, no, not no.
Okay. Oh fuck, do we have to go this again? Come on.
Stabbed it. Oh, fuck, no!
Not long ago, this trial very nearly came to an end. Somehow, we've managed to keep our chances alive here. I can't waste this cross-examination. I have to use it to bring some new facts to light. If you're not careful when you press these witnesses, the danger is that the jury will end up believing something unhelpful, as they did before. Maybe, but we can't let the fear of that happening stop us from uncovering important new information. Yes, you're so right. I need to pay careful attention here. I don't want to miss even a flicker of a reaction among these witnesses, so obviously whatever it is the... Remember, if you happen to spot one of the witnesses reacting in a strange way, don't hesitate to pursue them as to the reason. Right. So where's my look-arounds? I didn't press on this one.
You stabbed him, he did.
Hold it!
Well, I think so.
Earlier, you testified that you saw the moment when the defendant allegedly stabbed the victim, didn't you?
Oh, yes, that's right.
You said that the victim was on the floor and described the assailant holding the knife in an ice pick grip.
I suppose. I might have, yes, but put the cart before the horse, maybe.
What's this?
Well, I'm quite sure about most of it. I was driving the horses when I heard a scream from the seats on the roof deck.
Oh, I suspect that was me, sir.
Then, when I turned around, yes, I saw it through the skylight. The gentleman on the floor and the knife was sticking out of his midriff. That's right, yes, the fellow holding the handle was the famous man. Yes.
So, in short, you didn't see the moment when the victim was actually stabbed at all. He's changed his reaction here. So I guess I should have probably gone back on this.
Excuse me.
When he changed to being less nervous and more...
How can I help you, sir?
That last statement, no.
Oh, not particularly, no.
Okay. Fuck me, this damned... So I think I missed the opportunity there to press. Fuck off, come on. God, there needs to be a skip. Alright. Alright. I'm trying to press on this. Come on. I don't think he's the guy I need to be pressing on. Oh my fucking god! This is awful.
Hold it!
Alright, all we're gonna do is go through this and look to see if anybody... Okay, this is dialogue we had not gone through before. But honestly, my throat right now is killing me.
Doesn't a dedicated coachman deserve an extra penny per passenger?
You're digging a deeper hole for yourself here. If only there'd been a fifth passenger on the bus that night. Then we would have had another suspect. Okay, but I want to press on this again because I didn't get to see all the goddamn...
Hold it!
This is such an awkward, stupid... I don't think this is doing anything.
Hold it! Excuse me.
Well, Mr. Beppo,
Oh, yes, sir.
do you have something to add in relation to that last statement?
Well, sir, there's just one thing, yes. I was wondering what's going to become of my omnibus after the trial.
What do you mean?
I can't help but wondering, will no one want to ride my cursed carriage? Someone's killed it. Or will everyone want to ride in it? Yes, the cursed carriage could be an attraction, maybe. It could be a sink or swim moment for me. Oh, yes, I think it will be.
Well, if you could just focus on the testimony for the time being. Okay, that was not enough there. Fuck, you only get to press that once.
Hold
I
it!
hate that shit. I think I'm gonna have to present something here. I don't think I'm gonna be able to press them on anything. Didn't actually see the moment. That may turn out to be very significant, one would think. He didn't change any...
Excuse me.
If I may, Mr. Fairplay, what are you falsicking him for now? That last statement appears to have given you pause for thought. Not really? Okay, I think I need to go back to the one where he does pause for a moment. And by the way, you always seem to be looking to the side one way or another. Do you have some affliction? Oh, really? He's not really willing to say anything, it seems. It's none of your business, anyhow. I'll tell you, I saw Mr. McGilded stabbed. Fuck, that's not... God! It's not the right key.
Hold it! Excuse me.
Well, Mr. Beppo, do you have something to add? Probably not. Fuck. This is getting really tedious. Alright, back we go, because I need to press on this again and then talk to the other guy. God, this is really, really freaking annoying. Anyway, there's only 2 of them inside. I actually wanted to...
Excuse me.
I don't see what the fuck is going on here. Fuck. God damn it! This is the only sticking point that the game is giving me here. Fuck! God! I'm not seeing any tick here. I'm not seeing anything. Just jars with me. I wish I could work out what it was. I do too, goddammit! I saw McGilded stabbing that man. Everything I said before stands. Ah, come on. At this point, I honestly don't know what I'm looking for here that I could present. I think the game is misleading me here somehow.
Hold it!
You saw the defendant stabbed. That's what I said.
Excuse me.
Yeah, it doesn't look like this is anything. This confuses the fuck out of me, honestly. What am I looking for here? I keep bringing up, we're looking for a reaction.
Hold it!
And then this. Bothering me before. Just a brief moment, he hesitated before answering the question. Anyway, there's only 2 of them inside the carriage. Yes, 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 come on. Then why was that man's guilty? Something about his testimony jars with me. I wish I could work out what it was. What the fuck is in... I don't know. I don't know. These guys are not reacting in a way that makes them look guilty, like they would know something that I could then, you know, push on, and it just doesn't...
Hold it!
So the only thing I can think is that he said he didn't see the murder. So he was seated in the front seat? Do we have to present the fucking carriage to these guys? Is that what we're doing? Okay. Okay, well I guess we do that then. I'm literally just gonna look this one up because I don't know what it's expecting me to do. This confuses the fuck out of me. It's telling me two contradictory things here. Like, it's bringing up that one, it might be important that one guy didn't see something, and then two, it's like, well, look for reactions. I don't know what that means. So I'm gonna end this one here. We're gonna pick this up next time.